What's up guys, I'm Viet here at Gamescom 2015 and next to me I have TamTu who just got out of the demo of Dark Souls 3. So TamTu, what are your first impressions?
I died a lot, but that's normal, right?
Yes, so it seems. Okay. Now for real this time, all right? Okay. So yeah, you just came out of Dark Souls 3. So what kind of atmosphere did you feel while you're playing that game? Because it's supposed to be a very, very atmospheric game.
Well, I've seen the previous games, and they were always really dark. That's why it's called Dark Souls. But on top of that, the first part they dropped you in, it was like there's a lighter sky, and you're on top of a castle. Everything is bright, and I was waiting for the darker places to show up so they could ambush me with monsters, but whatnot. But it was actually very nice for me to acclimate to the game because they just drop you right there with nothing. You just figure things out on your own. You select the character you kind of want to play. You figure everything out on your own, and as always, trial by error. And there was lots and lots of error.
Yeah, of course, it's very difficult to figure things out on your own. But but how did you cope with that? Like, was the gameplay mechanic difficult for you to grasp at first?
No, it was very intuitive. Just the area you get dropped in, you can try everything out with no penalties, except for when you use an item, of course. But every time you die, you keep whatever you had. So if you had any items left from your previous run, you would still keep them. You would still have them in your inventory, and all you have to do is collect your currency, because there's a currency that you have, your souls. And if you go back to the place where you died, you can retrieve the souls, and yes. That currency thing goes back up.
Oh, okay. So just like the previous two games, then. Okay. Well, now that you told me about how the game plays out, people keep comparing Bloodborne with Dark Souls, and people keep saying Bloodborne is more fast-paced, it's more easy to play, it's easier to get in. Well, how did you think the gameplay of Dark Souls 3 was played out?
It feels like a traditional Dark Souls game. It's like you can play it however fast you want. If you carry a heavy weapon, then yeah, you're going to have to maneuver around a lot and time your attacks well. But if you use lighter weapons, then you're faster, of course. So it really depends on your own play style and what's more effective for you. So it's when it comes to that, it stays true to what makes Dark Souls 3 a Dark Souls game.
Okay, well, dying that much must mean it gets your blood boiling and stuff. So, yes. Did you rage at all?
I kept myself contained. I kept my rage contained. I got past one knight dude. But I couldn't beat him. I only beat him once, and I kept trying to get back to him. I figured things out. Like at one point there was a corridor with lots of enemies, but apparently you can't fight them all at once. There's a big dragon that just indiscriminately blows fire at everyone. So figuring things out like that, it motivates you to keep going. And once you know that, you just know the path and you just keep going. And keeping in mind that this is a Dark Souls game, that when you die, you start over at the beginning point of the area. That's something you have to deal with, and that was fine. But not being able to beat that knight again, I just put down my headphone and took my goodie bag.
that's a better way to.
I thanked him, of course.
That's a better way to deal with it than throwing your controller across the room.
Well, it was not my controller.
Okay, so one final question: are you going to get this game?
Yes, because I need to beat the crap out of that knight. I'm coming back for you. Dark Souls 3.
All right, guys. That was TamTu's verdict on Dark Souls 3. Thank you very much. And check us out on YouTube for a lot more gaming content. Peace. TamTu, what are your first impressions?
I died a lot, but that's normal, right?
Yes, so it seems.
Wow. And see.
And we're done. Let's go.